Hello, everybody. Welcome to Legends of Runeterra, which may come as a surprise unless you've read the title, because this game has added a roguelike deck builder mode, which has been very impressive to me. I played a handful of games so far, and it really adapts itself very well to a PvE format, which is very exciting. The game is Legends of Runeterra, typically a PvP collectible card game in the realm of like a Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering arena, I guess. But personally, I like it quite a bit better. But alas, that's neither here nor there, because this is a completely separate thing where you are playing 9 battles against monster PvE decks that all have their own unique gimmicks. You are given a deck with a champion, and it's a pre-constructed small deck that you will slowly build up over time with either new cards. After every fight, you will get to choose either new cards or permanent passive upgrades or card modifications, which is the step further that this does than any other PvE attempt in a collectible card game that I've seen, that really makes it so you can create some things that would be incredibly unfun to fight if this was a PvP kind of a thing. They get above and beyond crazy, unbalanced, but it's the situation kind of like a Monster Train or Slay the Spire, where there's certain situations where you need to be unbalanced to deal with some of the things that get thrown at you. So we're going to be playing through on normal here with, let's see, what character? Let's pick...
What is broken?
Let's pick Riven here. Let me know in the comments if we do, you may have noticed I didn't say series, miniseries, anything. That's because I quite frankly, I don't know what we're going to do here with this. If you are interested in it, please let me know if you want to see it as a series, miniseries, or if you're just like, just leave it as a one-off. But I will explain the game basics as we get in. Of course, if you're not familiar with collectible card games, there's going to be a little bit that's unfamiliar for sure. But I will try and explain some of the things that you may not know if you don't know Legends of Runeterra, but you don't really need to. You have all the time in the world to pause and read all of everything that's on the screen for you, since it is a PvE format. Player versus environment, aka it's a one-player game, if that was not clear. So at the start here, we get to pick a passive power. You get a random selection of 3 things here. They can either be common, rare, epic. Maybe there's something higher. I haven't seen it, but it is randomly selected. If you don't like what you see, you have 3 rerolls over the course of the entire run. I feel like using it right away is probably not the way to go. This one is epic, so I feel like it makes sense to go for. Round start, summon a random 1-cost Poro. It's a Poro unit there. Sure. Let's go for it. I don't know why I hit that there. There we go. So we're going to go against spiders here. There is 2 regular fights, and then a boss fight, and 2 regular fights, and a second boss fight, 2 more regular fights, and then the final boss. 9 fights total. You have 30 HP that replenishes back up to 30 after every boss fight. So, I will try and explain some of the key differences in Legends of Runeterra, the key basics of this game that you may not be familiar with. So one thing that is interesting to note too is this enemy only has 10 HP, so the fight's going to be over much quicker than a typical one. We can go face, we can try and play really aggressive, and it's going to be very, very beneficial to do so. Wait, why is this in my hand? What the heck? Oh, cool. Anywho, so extraordinary, extreme Omega basics very quickly here. This is our mana. Upper left is the mana cost. Bottom left is your attack. Bottom right is your HP. HP does persist when the turn ends. It does not heal back up to full. That is something that is in some deck builders, some card games, and not in others. It does not go back up to full unless it says otherwise. That's a rare occurrence. But the attack system works a little bit differently in this than a lot of standard ones. Basically, I have the attack token just because I guess I won a coin flip or something. So I get to attack on this turn. I get to play it, make an action, which I'm going to say is I'm going to play my Blade Squire. Now they get to do a retaliatory action, and then it goes to me. It keeps on going back and forth until both players have passed. Until there's 2 passes in a row is how it's going to go. So, since this is a smaller HP pool kind of a game, we get to be doing things that maybe are a little stupid in a PvP game where it's going to go longer. We also want to make sure that we do keep up our HP. When this 30 hits 0, we're done. But we need this 30 for the next 3 fights. It's a little bit more forgiving. It's not 30 over the course of the full 9, but it is 30 for the next 3 fights. So I'm just going to go aggressive, though. I know he's going to set... I'm sort of confused why he's blocking that, which means we get to do 2 damage to his face. Sure, whatever. He's a robot. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. All right. That's going to be silly. Summon a random cost Poro every single turn. That is a little silly. Man, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Alas, he has the attack token now, so I can't attack right now on my turn. Basically, do I want to play something or do I want to pass? I will play something. I will play that right there, sure. All right. I'll block with something. You know, since we're going aggro, I will block with this one, which has quick attack. I will explain that as it becomes more relevant in the future. But basically, fearsome is a specialized thing that means that it can only be blocked by a unit that has 3 or more attack power. It's really, really good for getting early kills. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage we can go to face. Let's buff you up 2. That's what that card does there. Because I was banking on that was basically an RNG type gambit right there. We also could have gotten this card out of it whenever that card says Reforge. Reforge. You get one of those random fragments right there. So, we're going face. He can't retaliate because I have not technically done an action yet. The spell that I played was a burst speed spell, meaning it's an instant in Magic the Gathering. It means that they cannot retaliate to it. I play it and then it happens, and I don't even forfeit my turn here. So this is my turn. It's pretty dangerous, pretty unfair, to be honest, since we get all of these free Poros. There's a chance he has a spell in his hand. He can retaliate with a spell. He cannot retaliate by summoning a unit. All right, so now we're going to go through the basics here, of course. We're going to stop soon, but you see we have 2 health or 2 mana left over, and I could spend it on this, but there's no reason. I can explain why in a bit. We can also pass, and this 2 mana goes into our mana reserves, our spell mana, if you will. There's 3 maximum. You can basically, at any given time at the end of the turn, if you have, enough mana to fill up your spell reserve up to 3, it goes into your spell reserve. You cannot reserve more than 3, but you also can't use it for anything but spells. It's basically a good way. It's a thing that I really like about the game that helps mitigate RNG in deck draw or in like your draws. Like, it still exists. It's a card game, of course, but you do not get screwed over as hard for playing off curve. Like, if you don't get a good 1 drop on turn 1, a good 2 drop on turn 2, good 3 drop, there's not as much wasted value, which I think is very, very important. So he gets to go now. Let's put down Riven. Let's put down Riven. So this is our champion. Each of these decks is kind of centered around a core champion, which they are pretty darn cool. You can only have a certain amount of champions in your deck. Like, the closest thing I can think of is a Planeswalker in Magic the Gathering. They are a unit that is slightly beefier and has more potential often than other units in the deck. They have more potential because they can level up. So this card can turn into this card if I meet specific criteria. The criteria is different for every single champion. This criteria is I will level up when you see the Blade of Exile, which we can only get by playing these cards. That's what these kind of are sort of all about. sort of what they're all about. This is the Blade of Exile. You can only get that when we've played all of these pieces. You can kind of think of it like Sword Exodia, but much like a very reliable and easy to attain Exodia. Because every time we gain the attack token, we will get one of those for free. Also, there's multiple cards in this deck that also will give us those for free. So, what the hell you doing? Oh, you jerk! It's killing my Poro.
No looking back.
I mean, we could just like...
Is that all you got?
We could do that. So he's doing 1 damage to my Poro down here. That's fine. I think an issue that we're going to run into with this deck is that we're going to have more units on the field than we actually want. Because we're going to max out very quickly. We're going to want to make sure we're going face with these Poros as much as possible. Otherwise, we will just have way too many, is all I can say. So Last Breath, Reforge. When he dies, this is one of the ways that we can get one of these pieces. If he dies, we get one. Do I really want to spend 3 mana to block one of these? I'm going to say actually yes. Because I think we just win next turn. If we have 2 more units than he does, then we just win next turn. We could have taken that damage even, and we would have probably been okay. Yeah, we have Overwhelm. So we extremely can handle this situation. All right, so let me show off the level up here. Basically just a style. Step 1, I'll play this. Gives ourselves 2 attack on whoever we play it on. Cool. Give ourselves quick attack. Quick attack is the same thing that's over here. Basically, in a head-to-head combat with another unit, they attack first. Meaning, if you can kill them in that attack, you don't even take damage back. It's first strike. Quick, maybe? No, not quick. Maybe quick? I can't remember what it is in other games. First strike, they go first. Now, we can also apply Overwhelm. We're applying all of these keywords. And she's going to level up because we have crafted the Blade of Exile. We got Sword Exodia. Oopa! Which means she's a little wild now. Basically, whenever her power is increased for the first time on each turn, you actually increase it by twice as much. This works well with the Blade of Exile because it increases her power by 2, so it actually increases it by 4. We can play this on anybody, but if we were to play it on her, it would go up by 4. I'm going to do it for the memes. So everything we played so far was a burst speed level spell. I think it actually has like an additional unique thing. Yeah, it's actually a focus spell, but to not overcomplicate what is already probably seeming overcomplicated, I'm going to say it's a burst speed spell. It happened immediately. I'm going to do this for the memes. It is a slow spell, so they will be able to have some kind of reaction, but I just want to see Riven have 10 attack right now on this turn. It just sounds fun. Yeah, that was their retaliation. Okay, so to recap, this has Fearsome, meaning it can't be blocked by these because none of them have 3 attack. This has Quick Attack, Overwhelm, and 10 damage, which is crazy. They will need to kill this with a spell to stay alive. And this has Quick Attack, meaning if they block with this, I would do my 1 damage to them before they did their 1 damage to me, killing them before they have any chance to do anything. This is just like, there's no way they can respond to all of it. There's no way they can respond to all of it. Oh, but they really tried. All right, so we do 1 damage. We do 9 damage there because it overflows. They have 1 HP. We have 10 attack. Big overflow. All right, that was our 1 fight. We're going to pick up the pace from here. Oh, we're going to try to pick up the pace. But here's our first upgrade after the fight here. So we are going to basically multi-spec now. Up to here, we have only had the 1 champion. We can add a 2nd champion. And this is, I think, the only other champion we're going to get for this deck. Discard a card to draw 1. To play, discard 1. Deal 3 to anything. Level up. I see your hand is empty. So it's certainly an aggro kind of a thing. You've damaged the Nexus in 5 rounds. Immobile, do 2 damage to me and summon a Powder Monkey. These are all very aggro. This is all very aggro. I need something that's going to deal with the fact that we have a lot of one-drop units. Like, we're going to have so many Poros, and none of this benefits that or truly synergizes greatly with it. I feel like Zed is the best thing I can think of. Because this ephemeral unit is very powerful, but does not take up board space for long, which is good because we're not going to have board space for long. I don't really care about Deathmark, though. Whatever. I'll go for it. Slap that into the deck. Let's get ourselves moving and grooving here. Get ourselves moving, get ourselves grooving. I don't know why this is so much louder than everything else in the game. Okay. Let's pace it up. Pace it up. Actually, I'm going to keep that. Because we only need to do 10 damage. So, for right now, being very, very aggro, very aggressive, very face-forward, it's going to be pretty helpful. I'm going to bank on him not having a card to retaliate for 1 mana. Yeah. So, he's summoned... He's a lot around Mist Wraith units, which is a 2-drop. So, therefore, I kind of figured if he's centered around that 2-drop unit, he probably has only that, really. Spell Shield. Cannot be attacked by spells. Alrighty. So this has Fearsome, meaning, again, we can only block it if we have 3 attack. I'm going to go for it. I'll drop you down there so that we can block you. I don't want to take the damage. I want to make sure that we have a good reserve of HP for the boss fight, because the boss fight is certainly more spooky. Okay, so can we just win? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god, we just won, I think. Unless he has a spell response, we literally just won. This is one of my favorite features of the game, by the way. You can hover over this to see what will happen when you press the button. Oh, we're fine. That's not an answer. That just lets him draw a unit. I don't think he... Oh my god, okay. All right. So that is the perfect example of what I was talking about, how if you go face, they only have 10 HP. It seems like this may, at the very least in the beginning, prioritize going aggro. They do get more HP as you move forward. All right. Fury. Fury, Challenger, or Common? Challenger is very interesting. Wait, what is Fury again? Fury is when you kill a unit, grant me 1/1. Oh, I wish I could give both of those to Zed, because summon an attacking living shadow with my stats. But his level up version copies his buffs as well. So we could re-roll this. These are all common rank items. Let's re-roll. Let's try and go crazy here. Rare, give regeneration. That means that they go back up to full HP. They go back up to full HP. Summon a living... Attack, summon... Wait. Attack, summon a living shadow with my stats. Okay, this... Now, this sounds kind of stupid. Summon an ephemeral copy. So that's a copy that lasts for 1 turn. So basically, when we summon him for 3 mana, we get 2 versions of him. And when we attack... Oh my god. We get 12 damage? 12 attack. The effectiveness of 12 attack and 8 HP for 3 mana for the turn we summon him. Let's do that. That sounds very stupid. Play. Grant enemy -1 and vulnerable. Double attack. 6 mana double attack. I mean, that sounds okay. Because we do have buffs. We do have ways of buffing them up. Fine. I don't love it. Maybe we'll be able to get a good buff for him later. I don't love it. So here's our first boss fight. We did manage to make it here at 30 HP. 30 out of 30 HP. Which is very exciting. Why is it so loud? The world may never know. Okay, so his thing. Ooh. Oh, well. If we're playing him right away, then it's not going to matter. Let's just mulligan all that. So his thing that is special about him is he starts with the Vaults of Hellia. You're going nowhere. Gotcha. If you can, at the start of your turn, kill your most expensive ally to summon an ally that costs 1 more. So basically, he's going to have a lot of units that more or less don't mind dying for the most part, and they will be replaced next turn with someone stronger, which is a spooky. A spooky. Because they will eventually go up to Thresh. His highest cost is Thresh, which is his champion, which is a spooky, spooky guy who loves to watch people die. And when he gets a level up, he is even crazier because, oh boy, there's a lot to explain. And we're probably going to kill him before it even happens, just looking at my hand. The first time I attack this game, summon another attacking champion from your deck or hand. So, you know, Thresh is a champion, Riven's a champion, those kind of things. He'll summon one of those attacking. I'm going to put down this dang Shadow Friend. I'm going to bank on him not having a 1-drop. He has a 1-drop.
They never stop.
All right, well, he's obviously going to block the four attack unit.
Just leave me alone.
Rip. For some reason, I didn't assume he would have a card, but it's good to make sure that he doesn't have a unit on the field, because then he starts the chain going up and up and up, and it could get kind of spooky. Oh, jeez, dude. Last breath. The next time an ephemeral ally attacks, revive me attacking. Oh boy.
These hands
Sure.
metal and magic.
The good news is I don't really care about this. This is not that big of a deal. Sure. I'll do that trade-off. It doesn't matter. And he still doesn't have anything. So actually, this is going fine. This is not actually very spooky yet. Round start, if you've leveled a champion and turned me into Exalted Poro. Ooh. I don't think we're going to end up having that happen, but still, it's cool. I'm going to buff up you since you have Spell Shield. Oh my god. So this cannot be retaliated with a spell. So I think we just won. I think we just won, unless he has a spell to kill, which he... Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. We are going to run into problems very soon, I assure you. We are... that was very good lethal. Very good, clean, perfect lethal. This Poro buff we have that's giving us the 1-drops is very important. Start of game, get an extra empty mana gem. Oh my god. So we just start ahead of the curve for mana? We're getting very, very lucky. For the rest of the game, the first time you play a follower, Is it? Does that include? I don't know if that includes. The Poros. Pick one of 3 followers with the same cost to transform it into. Nah. Give an ally challenger. And then create a fleeting or resonating strike. Challenger being the thing that lets you choose your target. That actually could be pretty good. I wouldn't mind re-rolling this, honestly, but I'm going to go with it. Okay. Round start, give the weakest enemy vulnerable. So vulnerable is basically challenger, kind of. It's basically targeted challenger for an enemy, if that makes sense. So they get to make somebody get pulled. They don't get to make a unit that always pulls, but they get a unit to have a very pullable nature, to say the least. All right, so we should start with 1 and then 1 empty. No, it's not even empty. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be... I just cannot imagine. Rude. Fine. I attack with my 0. I cannot imagine them having a good reaction to us playing this on the next turn, is what I was going to say. And we got another one. This is crazy. Okay. So he gave us a snow hair. It's just like an added cost because otherwise it'd be way too broken, I guess. So he can pull 1 unit. Who's he going to pull? So I can't... oh, actually, I can play Weapon Hilt as a retaliation here. That's a burst spell, not a focus spell. So the difference between burst and focus is focus cannot be done in combat. It's instant, but it can't be done in combat. All right.
Words of power linger in the air.
I feel like things are about to get very silly.
Pledge yourself to the shadows.
Things are about to get very, very silly.
A chill in the air.
Okay. That is extraordinarily annoying. However, you're ephemeral anyways, so we'll give you this buff, so you should summon a copy. Yeah. And we'll just attack with everything here. Because I'm not attached to literally anybody that we have.
I have many faces.
This should be a decent strike here. Yeah, that's a fair target. Understandable. Yeah, we're gonna summon too many Poros. That really is our problem here. I was a psychic when I anticipated that prior. Recall an ally to summon a living shadow. A living shadow in its place. Okay. I'm gonna get you down
Past is a burden we must learn to bear.
so that we have a good... Thank you. Kill him. Kill him. Sacrifice them. See if I care. I'm going to drop you down again to take the place of a Poro, because then we can give ourselves quick attack on somebody, which I think will be a good idea. Kill a unit with 3 or less power. Could do our Poro. I think that we could just go, like, incredibly aggro.
Remember why we fight.
Yeah, so that's -2. What happens if we... Can we do that? How much damage does that give? Wait. Summon a living shadow in its place. So it pulls him back. Why? I don't know why it pulls him back. Yeah, whatever. Quick attack, overwhelm. I mean, here's what we're going to do. Quick attack,
Sense their power.
overwhelm. We're going to create the Blade of Exile, which shall level up this. We've created Sword Exodia. Easy peasy. Nice and easy. Nice and breezy. So you have 4 attack now. That's a good start. I will play this because I feel as though you will not have a retaliation to it. Ah. Oh, you piece of garbage. I think we're fine anyways. I think the fact that his response was not... Okay, I was going to say. Was not to play another unit is really, really good. Okay, let's... Still, this is very strong. And in fact, we can play this, if we do this now, because if we do it later, then he can still actually use it to block, even though it's going to die. But if we do this now, we know he has 0 mana, so we can't retaliate. There's literally no way he can, win. Right here, I don't think, right? Wait. Actually. Nope. We're good. This is very busted. Which I don't think comes as a surprise, that this is very, very busted. And that's what I've really enjoyed about the mode, is it lets you do that PvE roguelike deck builder kind of thing of making a very powerful, powerful build. And it's free. Like, how can you go wrong with that? How can you go wrong with that? You don't need tokens. You don't need none of that. Oh boy. Select a card with an item to add 2 copies of it to your deck. Stun all enemies with 4 or less power, and it costs 4. I mean, that's good. Like, it's certainly not bad. I just don't really want any of this stuff, though. Round start creates Sanctuary in hand. Costs -3. That's hilarious. Reduce my cost by 1 for each ally that died. I feel like Culling Strike that only costs 1. Kill a unit with 3 or less power that only costs 1 is really, really good. Like, recall an ally. This takes up a slot on the board, which is a problem for me. Select a card in your deck, add an item. When you cast a spell, reduce my cost by 1. Or give this spell shield. Fine. I see Epic. I want to take it, even though I don't think it's that good. That good for us. Scargrounds. This is a very interesting one. A very, very interesting one indeed. What do you got, baby? What do you got, baby? To start with, remove ephemeral. Instead, grant to an enemy. I feel like we have to do that, right? I'm gonna try and fish out something to play earlier. We did not get it. I feel like we want to cheese this. So next turn we could play Zed. Give ally challenger, create a fleeting resonating strike. I'm gonna go for the gambit. I'm gonna go for a gambit here. You'll see what it is. We're gonna just try and play not much. So Scarground, whenever an ally survives damage, grant it +1 attack and tough. So this Poros are very bad to have with that. Like, very bad. You're going to want to have units that will kill their units in 1 blow, basically. Okay, so this worked out perfectly. All right. Here we go. So we get a combo this. We put down the Zed, and then the Zed with Ephemeral. Ephemeral meaning at the end of the turn, he dies, or whenever he attacks. Remove Ephemeral, and give it to one of them instead. Great. Please. That's... I don't care. Why would you have done that? I can't believe you've done this. Well, actually does make sense. Because he could kill me now. The fact of the matter is, this still makes sense to use. Anything that's not going to kill them, we don't want to do, though. So, I will save this for next turn. I really would have loved to attack with them. It would have been really fun to see, but I think we need to save that for next turn. Battling ally strikes a battling enemy. That is a good tool for us. We would get the ability to get the +2. I think that what we do is we just put down this guy right here. Knowing full well that we're gonna wreck that, because as mentioned, you suck. I hate you. Actually.
Your training has failed.
Lol. I mean, it's not great. Like, it's not my favorite favorite response to that situation, but I don't want to take damage, but I also don't want to buff him up with the +1 attack and tough. I feel like that could be really annoying. We do have Whirling Death, which I think is very, 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 very strong in this situation. Give you Challenger. But we will give you +2. All right, here's the thing. Pulling you over here. Oh, my God. Yeah. Okay, this is silly for sure. We might have a way. Do we have a way to kill? We could try and go for a kill here. We can't put these up here because then our ephemeral boys will not spawn. This is just fine. This is just gonna be good enough for us right now. The fact that we have a chance to kill right here is beautiful. So I could do Whirling Death to kill them early, but that does not mean that I will then attack the Nexus. Because basically, when you choose to block, you're blocking. If I kill them, they're still like, they kind of create like a wall still. Think of it like, I guess, like a Darkest Dungeon corpse, I guess. It still blocks the way. I guess what we can do is this to protect ourselves. I was thinking I might have had to use it in another way. But that means we get to keep this guy. And we're leveling up. Both of them should level up, actually. So now... now, whenever we summon our copy Living Shadow, they also get to keep whatever buff we have on, like Quick Attack or Challenger or anything like that. So that's very, very cool. Here's the thing. I was gonna say I don't care, but I do kind of have to care about this. I need to block the 3 damage. Deal 1 damage to all battling units. Oh, you jerk. So... oh, God. Whenever I survive damage, grant me +3. I mean, there's nothing else we can do, right? We take 7 damage. This means we take 5 damage. Seven damage. 7 damage. 5 damage. God, this could get out of hand. If we can't, oh, this is a gambit. Oh, this is a gambit. If we cannot close out the deal next turn, this is terrible. Oh, boy. When I survive damage, I mean, that's... Support, give me Quick Attack. I mean, that's certainly good.
We march as one, an unstoppable force.
Do I want Riven? Yeah, because then we'll get Reforge.
Both broken.
This is good. This is good. This is good. Yeah, there's no way. Quick Attack, we already have that. I was hoping to not get the Quick Attack one. I was hoping to get a different one. All right, we've done it. We've already done it. There's no way. There's no way, man. There's no way. Quick Attack, sure. Alright, so we need to not attack with 2 of these units. These all already have quick attack.
They won't suffer long.
See, that's pretty nasty.
Raven will fall.
Alright, so look at that, minus 30. Alright, so yeah, that should be good enough, right? Minus 30? If you have a response to this, I'll eat my hat. Oh my god. Okay, I don't care. Again, if we could not close out, look what we'd have to deal with. Oh boy, but boy, can we ever close out.
I cannot be broken.
All right. Get wrecked. Not even close. Definitely not incredibly scared. No siree. Are we on the boss? We are on the boss now, the second boss. All right. Okay. Grant all battling followers ephemeral when cast again. What? Okay. Siphoning Strike. An ally strikes a unit. If it dies, grant allied champions everywhere +2/+2. When cast, shovel 2 copies into your deck. They cost 1. That could be really good. And I don't feel like doing a reroll. And I certainly do not want more Poros. I really don't want more Poros. Fine. +4/+4, but cost 2 more. We can have 2 of these on the same card? +3/+3, but they are ephemeral. I mean, that can work. That could work. That could work with Deathmark. We have 2 Deathmarks in our deck, but I don't know. Man, I wish that there was just like a -3 cost on this or something so we could just keep it going, you know? Oh, boy. I don't want Zed to cost 5. The fact that we can play him on 3 is really important, I think. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's very important that we keep his cost down. I would have loved just like I would have been happy with a +1/+1, but no cost up. This probably just means we would shuffle. Ay, ay, ay. Fine. We probably shuffle 2 more. This is very sketchy. When I summon an ally, grant it +1/+1. That is such a simple boost that this champion that we are fighting gets. But boy, that makes a big difference in value. Yikes, basically. An ally strikes a unit. If it kills, grant allied champions everywhere +2/+2. Only the strong survive. Okay. Blade Squire, the fact that we get Culling Strike right away is actually quite neat. Do we go for it? Do we go for it? Just get the free value? I mean, get ahead of the curve this way, maybe?
It's my time.
There's 3 damage. I don't really care about that much. Riven. Alright. Oh. Alright.
Break the ties that bind.
You didn't get another you didn't get anything else to do, you say. Okay. Okay, give me the +2. Oh my, you actually did give me the +2. That is beautiful. Oh my god, you poor thing. The Poros are actually getting in the way here. We would not summon the ephemeral copy. I'm doing it anyways. This is silly. We waste this ephemeral copy, but we do have this glinting fragment which I think is going to be a very good call. That's 10 damage.
Finally, some action.
Okay, so yeah, we only get to summon one copy. All right. Two. He's gonna block something. Yes, I know it would look really neat if we did. Well, first of all, just want to make sure. Yeah, so that when you see him over there, that means it's gonna fizzle. Like, I know this looks good because we're going to get lethal, but he's going to block something. That is just a fact. And Riven would die. And I don't want that right now.
Embers and smoke.
That's who you're blocking? That's who you're blocking, huh?
What is ours?
All right. Ally strikes a unit. If it dies. Okay, so you're going to do 1 damage to everything. Thank you. Thank you for killing my poros. I actually appreciate it. Should I? Maybe not. Okay, an ally strikes a unit. If it dies, champions everywhere. So it's very important to me that we kill. But I don't know. They don't have... They could have the card that buffs the unit's HP by 2. That exists in this deck, and it only costs 1 mana. That exists in Freljord, this class. So, to be safe, I'm gonna go and try and kill the one that has less HP. We don't know if this was a bad play or not. Like, obviously, it probably looks like we should have done the other thing, but give an enemy frostbite and vulnerable. Oh, screw you. He's obviously gonna pull in. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. If we draw another Zed, you are toast. Okay. That's. Oh, you are toast indeed. Oh my God.
The storm approaches.
So, because we're gonna give you overwhelm. You have only 1 HP. What is that all about? Okay. Shouldn't have given that to you, but I thought it'd be funny.
I am reforged.
Point. Sure. I'm just styling at this point. You have 0 mana, so you literally can't do anything as a result of any of this. Overwhelming quick attack. If I do this, you go up to 10-5. All right. Let's just do this so we can do 1 damage. I would like to do 1 damage, please.
The cost of war.
Do 1 damage, please. The fact that this copies, his Living Shadow copies everything. So he is literally going to be the exact same thing. An 8-5 with quick attack and overwhelm. There is no world. Everybody, well, most of these people have overwhelm. There's no world where anyone would have an answer for this. This is so busted. I really like what we're creating here. I really like what we're making here. Oh, baby. All right. So what do we got next? What's our next choice here? Your spells cost 1 less. When you summon a 5+ power unit, it strikes the weakest enemy. There is a world where that works, but I don't think it is quite what we're looking for. Spellslinger, all of your spells cost 1 less. Seems like a really good tool. With all of these reforge things we're getting, all the little weapon shards, they cost 0 now. Oh boy. All right. So Zed is now a +2/+2. I wish that we would have gone the other thing now. Sure, +2/+2. So now we're going to summon a 2 5/4s that also summon 2 more 5/4s. Oh my god. That is... For 3 mana, that is a 20 attack, 16 HP value for 3 mana. We literally just need to try and draw Zed. Okay, Siphoning Strike is very, very fun and very funny. Okay, so yeah, Culling Strike is it's free. There's Zed. What is your thing? Round start, all players draw 1. Okay. We have Culling Strike at 0 cost to protect our butt here. Nexus Strike, create in hand a copy of a random smell in the enemy's deck. How about I actually just straight up kill you? Oh, what do you have? Oh, you jerk. Wait. Why does that cost 0? Oh, that's an extra bonus they have. Ah, that's unfair that your spells cost 1 less, or all of your cards cost 1 less. That's terrifying. Typically, this runs a mushroom kind of a deck, Hexcore Foundry, which is hard to explain. Kind of like a poison deck. Like they infect my deck with. Okay, they infect my deck with oh boy. With poison. So when I draw a card, I might draw a poisoned card and take damage. It's spooky. Oh, this is nasty, man.
Good haul today, was it?
I ain't complaining.
All right, Siphoning Strike seems like a good idea. To get that in our deck like right now. All right, so we have some tools. Get out of here. Yes, I know we have Zed. But I'm trying to set things up. If we can kill this... All right, now Riven is a 5/6, and Zed is a 7/6. Oh, my God. When you cast a spell, grant me +1/+1. I'm going to kill you now before you ramp up to a scary, scary level. Summon 2 Scrap Scuttlers. Don't care. I'm going to grant my Riven Overwhelm here so that... Because we're going to do 4 damage to the Nexus with Riven now, and these guys both have Elusive, which means they cannot be blocked. They cannot be blocked unless they have Elusive or they do some kind of spell. So yeah, we're pretty broken. Uh-oh. That's fine. Please, please kill my Poros. I implore you to kill my Poros. Alright. Weird idea. I'm going to give one of these quick attack because I imagine they're going to attack me and it's just sounds fun. And I'll put down you because I don't want to put down Zed because it would be a waste of our... Oh, interesting. It'd be a waste of our Ephemeral. Oh, god dang it. Watch, we're going to summon a Poro. It's going to ruin our life just a little bit. Oh, that sucks. You know what? I don't care. It didn't bite us in the butt last time. If we can give Overwhelm, which we definitely can, we've probably just won already. Yeah, we got the Blade of the Exile. Oh my god. This just works so well. Alright, so yeah, we want you to have Overwhelm. But not after we do this. Not until after we do this. I was hoping we would get another Overwhelm.
No turning back now.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please, if you have a kill card, I will scream. Man is a 15. 6 with Overwhelm, meaning we get to do that damage no matter what, basically.
Raven will
Poor Riven, this damage is going to be useless. Okay. I think this is a kill. Because, oh man, if he was leveled up, this would have Overwhelm as well. I think we might not have the damage. Oh, no. Oh, you're attacking. Okay. Yeah, we actually don't have the damage. Since this... If Riven had Overwhelm, or this had Overwhelm, which will happen soon, then we'd be fine.
What's our name again?
Pick a follower, transform me into a copy of it. Okay. Either way, it's hard to deny that this is fine. Like, we're going to be okay. I don't think they have good hard removal in their deck. There's Siphoning Strike. Nice. What is your thing? Allegiance, create a sump works. It doesn't really matter what we kill then. I'll go for you. And then now we have, what, 4 copies of that in my deck that costs 0? That's hilarious. That is actually hilarious to me. Attack, please. Oh. Well, actually, attack with somebody else. Attack with somebody else. He's not gonna. Oh, you jerk. Oh. LOL. We have an elusive, so we can block that. And then we got Overwhelm, just in case we needed that. We could make it so he strikes him, so we would not actually have anything to worry about here with that unit dying. But I honestly kind of like the fact that the Poro's dying. They've been really good chump blockers and everything, but they've also... Oh, hell yeah. I mean, ouch. But still. Oh, no. This makes me smile. This makes me smile. 0 cost Siphoning Strike. Wait, and then it continues to add more to our deck? Stop it. Oh, this sucks. This is so annoying. He gets to keep on doing stuff. Not fair. Okay. I mean, we got this. We're fine. I don't want to play any slow spells that give him the option to retaliate, basically. All right. If you have a way out of this, I do not understand. Yeah, this was certainly an annoying deck to fight because they kind of had ways to do direct damage to me despite having, like, a broken board. So that 6 damage, there's kind of nothing I could do about it. Oh! God, this is so good. And what's really exciting is it seems innately super replayable due to the fact that I want to remind everyone this is technically a Riven deck, but I turned it into a Zed deck. So there's so much we can do here. Give Zed an extra +1/+1. I mean, okay. Round start, summon a turret. Okay. Could be scary, could be not scary. I don't think there's much that's scary to us. I actually really like this turn 1 play. Oh my god. Culling Strike for 0. Oh, that's right. It costs 0, not 1. I got confused. So that is Challenger.
To serve the greater good.
I brought my books. Hope that's all right.
When you draw a card, give me +1/+0. Get out of here. I don't want to see you. And then this should be... You'll probably block, right? No, you're just going to let that through. Okay. I'm not too worried about killing it right now. I feel like Culling Strike can be used against something better. Like that, for example.
How can I help?
All right. You don't have a retaliation to this, right? 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 Oh, you totally could. Okay. All right. That's an investment in the future. That is an investment in the future. It was a very expensive tool, but now those are into my deck for free. And the moment we draw a Zed, we win the game. This is hilarious.
They followed the wrong master.
Okay, so we need to take back one. I'll take back the one of you, because I kind of want this guy to die. Alright, I'm banking on him not having a lot of answers. Alright. I'm going big. Alright, so no... Worst case scenario, we do 16 damage. Worst case scenario, we do 16 damage, and that is so funny. I kind of want you to kill that. We'll save these for next turn, because these are Poros that I actually like having, because we can use them to sneak in free damage in the future. Yeah, this is not surprising. That's not surprising. Oh my god. That is so busted that counts as the level up. Even though he didn't summon that Living Shadow, it still counts. That's so broken. Oh my god, this build is so broken.
Happy to do whatever's needed.
I don't want to have to block with Zed. Most importantly, I'm just trying to add these to my add more of those to my deck, because it's just super fun to see. If we had reliable card draw for late game, it'd be even funnier. All right, we just won. If we didn't already, we did even harder now. Oh, wait. He does not have Overwhelm.
I'll show the hunters.
And we only have one of them because we did not have a way to... What could his answers be? I'm not sure. I feel like this is the way to go.
And they said I was dangerous.
That does not count as a kill. Okay. All right. I think we might have it because of the 6 damage bopper. That's got a block there. That's got a block there. That's fine. That does not bother me that much. He does make it out alive, but boy, he has to sacrifice. This is the Thanos, what did it cost everything, incarnate. Okay. I mean, this is certainly spooky. He's getting a lot of these. That's fine. Please kill my Poros. Thank you. I appreciate this. That don't bother me much. All right, if it was not clear... Okay, stop it. So... I want to win harder. I mean, theoretically, we should buff up one of... I know that we technically should buff up him, but is all good. We don't need to worry. I don't think. He needs to have a way to do 10 damage to me via a spell or have a direct kill. If he would have done that the other turn, that gives him a bunch of random spells that are all cheaper. Or a bunch of cards that are cheaper. maybe he would have the answer, but he would have had to do that last turn, and even still, I don't think it could be possible. All right, we're moving on to the final boss here. This deck is certainly hilariously broken, fundamentally. But, like, the amount of variance that you can get thanks to these passives and everything in between each round is so huge. Okay. We can make it so Riven costs 1 less. Okay, Legion Drummer gaining Quick Attack is no joke. And Iron Ballista with Barrier is also no joke. Obviously, I'm going to re-roll and see what kind of stupid stuff we can get into. All right. All right, this is not that... None of this is that great. Rune Weaver having 2 extra HP is certainly fine. It's fine. Shadow Fiend getting Barrier would be more exciting if it wasn't ephemeral, because it's going to go away anyways. Weirdly enough, I'm actually going to go with Philosopher's Stone, because that makes it so that card is a little bit more free. Allies get +1/+1 for each keyword they have. That sounds scary. Basically, if we draw bad, if we draw poorly, I could see this being a problem. We would have to draw very, very poorly, though. I want Zed in my opener. Okay. All right. Flesh's weakness we must shed. I have the answer. His name is Zed. I'll put down the Legion Drummer there. We have Culling Strike to pretty much just say no thank you to anything that happens here. No thank you. That's the other thing. Culling Strike ending up costing 0 is so good. It's so good. I'll want to play Zed on my turn, but we're going to have the issue of too full of a board if we play something else. Yeah, like I want to play Riven so bad. But I'm not gonna. Maybe we'll get the nope. All right. I'm not worried though. Give an ally challenger. We Oh my god. I almost feel kind of bad. Oh my god, did we just win? We just won.
Show them the might of Noxus.
I honestly feel almost a little bad. We could even, and we should have even Sonic Waved. We definitely should have Sonic Waved first, because he could have a spell. Oh my god. I feel kind of bad at how much of a mockery we made of the final boss. They are not all this strong. I promise you that. Wow. I played like 3 or 4 runs, and this is by far the most dominant destruction I think I have ever seen of my fort. We've done it. We've done it. We get ourselves a little victory lap here. Congratulations. You can get this little screen that lets you showcase, you know, what was your featured card? Gee, I wonder what our featured card was. It's very funny to call that a Riven deck. I certainly would say that it was turned into a Zed deck for sure. No small feat benefiting from the Siphoning Strike as well. But this was so much fun. This was so much fun. And as a result there, we did unlock, not that it matters, we unlocked a little bit of a player icon that you can use throughout the game. But why would I change it when I have my wonderful... I didn't even play in that season. My lovely flex badge of being diamond in a season of Legends of Runeterra. But alas, we also, in addition, I'm not going to do it for now, but we've unlocked hard mode. There's also heroic. There's also legendary. So basically, there is so much actual content to it, and it was not out for very long, and then they added 2 new champions and base starter decks to the Lab of Legends, which is what this thing is called, by the way. So I think that they are really onto something here, and I think that if they go towards the route of adding more, just adding more variety. Like, number one, key thing, adding different enemy fights, I think would be really, really, like, the first big step. And after that, just adding more variety, adding more starting decks, adding more modifiers, things like that. I think that's the route to go in the future. But boy, that was such a blast. I had such a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Let me know if you want this to be a series, a mini series, or if you're just like, that's a one-off. That's fine. Thank you. But as mentioned, this is a free-to-play game. Legends of Runeterra is a completely free card game. And while you play this, you do unlock stuff to build decks in the PvP mode. And this doesn't cost in-game currency to play. You get it's infinite retries. You don't need to buy any tokens or anything stupid like that. You just get to play this, and it is fantastic. But alas, that is that, and that is going to do it for today. My name is Retromation. I typically put out videos on roguelikes and more every single day. So if that is the kind of genre you are into, this is a worthy subscription. I would like to play more of this. If there's support, I would happily play more. Thank you, and I will see you next time. Bye!